Good morning, dear students. Today I am back with my video on chapter 3, that is the Indian Constitution. And in that chapter, we have already done fundamental rights and fundamental duties. Now we have another topic that is related to marginalized communities, and in this particular video we are going to talk about the efforts made for these marginalized communities by the constitution and by the government. So let's first of all let's discuss meaning of marginalization. What do you mean by marginalization? Marginalization, it is a process whereby someone is pushed to the edge of group and accorded lesser importance. This is predominantly a social phenomena by which minority are excluded and their needs and desires are ignored. Or in other words, we can say that if there are some people in one group and one or two out of that group are separated and are kept separate, so these two person are under marginalized community. Marginalized community means that you can say scheduled caste, scheduled tribe and OBCs. These are included in marginalized communities, and both constitution and government have made many efforts for the marginalized communities to realize their rights. So first of all, we'll discuss some constitutional provisions given by the constitution to these marginalized communities. First of all, Article 46, educational and economic interest. Actually, under this article, state will take care of educational and economic interest of the weaker sections of the people, and state will also protect these communities from any kind of exploitation. Then next is Article 17. Article 17, what does it tell? Abolishes untouchability, which means that untouchability is abolished, and if anyone is found to do this act, she will be fined for this. Next is Article 275, and under this article, paid out of consolidated fund as grants in ad. So under this article, they shall be paid out of the consolidated fund of India as grants in ad of the revenue of a state. Such fund will be utilized to provide different schemes to promote the welfare of the scheduled tribes in the states, or raising the level of administration of the scheduled area. In the same way, preamble to the Constitution of India, the fundamental rights and the directive principles of state policy also contain many provisions to protect the interests of the scheduled castes and scheduled tribes. So let's discuss efforts made by the government for these marginalized community. So here first of all we are having job reservation. See, if we talk about government efforts, so we can say that government has reserved 15% jobs for scheduled caste, 7.5% for scheduled tribes, and 27% for OBCs. Now the next is seats reserved in educational institution. Educational institution. It means that for educational institutions, government has also reserved some seats for these marginalized communities. The another is effort made by government is reservation of constituencies of the Lok Sabha and the State Assembly. If we talk about these marginalized communities, before this I would like to tell you that even for scheduled tribes, government has made reservation in both government services and educational institutions. And if we talk about the constituencies of Lok Sabha and the state assemblies, in this we can say that some constituencies of Lok Sabha and the state assemblies are reserved for the scheduled caste and scheduled tribe candidates. Only scheduled caste or scheduled tribe candidate can contest election from these constituencies. Next effort is provision of coaching and training for competitive examinations. So what is there, that to improve the representation of scheduled caste and scheduled tribes in various services, coaching and training are provided for various competitive examinations. Next is provision of textbook. So here government is just providing textbooks to the students of engineering or medical services belonging to these communities. Then grant scholarship. Now what other effort made by government, what government is doing for these marginalized communities, that government is providing scholarship and also granting passage for higher education abroad to students of these communities. And some more efforts done by government are construction of hostels for providing residential facilities. If we talk about this effort, so here what government is doing, government is constructing hostels for scheduled tribes or for scheduled caste girls studying in schools, colleges, for providing residential facilities to them. Next effort, no restriction on entering in hotels, temples or any other public places. So what here mean by this effort is that that these people belong to these marginalized communities, they are allowed to go anywhere, they are allowed to move to any temples, any hotels and or any other public place. They have no restriction on entering in hotels, temples or any other public places. Then no restriction on use of public wells and tanks. If we talk about this effort, then we can say easily that these people can easily use any public wells and tanks. They are also provided, you can say there is establishment of public health centers and clinics for them. Means they are also having or provided public health care centers and clinics in these areas or in their areas separate. Another is setup of separate welfare departments. Separate welfare departments have been set up in the different states and union territories to protect and promote their interest. Their interest means interest of these marginalized communities. No doubt that government had done a lot of these, for these communities, but still there is need to change in the attitude of the people. More and more members of these communities are coming ahead. They are becoming doctor, engineering, teachers. But work of reform and legislation should continue till these people come to the level of other section of the society. So I hope that you have understood these efforts which are made for the marginalized communities, and in this way we can easily, or government can help these communities to uplift their level and their standard. So I hope that you have understood this chapter clearly. So with this, your chapter is finished, and thank you.